Years removed from their days of yore, yet bound together by the love of blue. The anticipation is palpable of what's in store. Reflections on hues of blue from my old alma mater. Memories. Moments. Blink, it's a blur. Color me bad or color me true. But whatever the outcome, always, always color me blue.
Every season, teams take the floor. The ordinary game no longer exists. They become more than just opponents. The floor becomes a battleground for pride, and a win means more than just a victory. Each season, even before rivals meet, the game is history.
And you can't have a rivalry week without North Carolina and Duke playing. And here they are at the Cameron Indoor Stadium, a part of Wednesday Night Hoops, presented by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, all a part of Rivalry Week, presented by Cisco. Think they're fired up for this game? As Mike Krzyzewski and Roy Williams embrace at the beginning of the game, this is going to be all kinds of fun. Even more on the line because Duke and North Carolina are sitting 1-2 in the ACC right now. The winner of this game will be in the driver's seat heading into the second half of the conference schedule. Hi, everybody. Dan Shulman and Dick Vitale. No surprise, he's fired up, ready to go for this game. This is going to be really interesting. Carolina comes in, Dick, playing their best basketball of the season, but they're so young. How will they respond to this hostile environment?
You know, Dan, they've won 10 out of 11, as you said. They're on hot, and they're hot because of right now they're diaper dandies. We have youth on one side when we think about Marshall and we think about Barnes. And on the other side, we look at that veteran, the seniors who know how to win for Duke. When you talk about Smith and Singler.
No shortage of star power, of course, when these two programs get together. You mentioned Harrison Barnes. He is on fire the last three
Won
games.
the last 3 games, 25, 26, and 17. Living up to that billing, coming out of high school as the best. And Brett Durham. And then you talk about, certainly Nolan Smith has a chance to lead the conference in scoring and assists. And that has never, ever been done in the ACC.
If you're Mike Krzyzewski, you can count on Nolan Smith. Singler, maybe the question is, who else is going to step up? Let's see if Aaron Andrews has the answer.
I don't know if I have the answer, but like you mentioned, Smith and Singler, they're the 1-2 punch for Duke. The third guy, well, that's anyone's guess. And really, that's been the case since Kyrie Irving went down with a toe injury 15 games ago. Mike Krzyzewski told us tonight, you never know who's going to play well for that third guy, but that's the one predictable.
Smith has a chance to lead the conference in scoring and assists, and that has never, ever been done in the ACC.
If you're Mike Krzyzewski, you can count on Nolan Smith. You can count on Kyle Singler. Maybe the question is, who else is going to step up? Let's see if Aaron Andrews has the answer.
I don't know if I have the answer, but like you mentioned, Smith and Singler, they're the 1-2 punch for Duke. The third guy, well, that's anyone's guess. And really, that's been the case since Kyrie Irving went down with a toe injury 15 games ago. Mike Krzyzewski told us tonight, you never know who's going to play well for that third guy, but that's the one predictable thing he can always count on. You don't know who it is, but you know somebody will, whether it's Mason Plumlee, Ryan Kelly, Seth Curry, someone always steps up. He said the reason why this happens, this lineup is still growing. It's still progressing. They're still trying to find their way, Dan.
All right, Aaron, thank you. Aaron, right down there by the corner of the court, right near the Crazies. We wish her the best of luck over the course of the night. Here's the starting lineups now presented by eHarmony.com, and we begin with the visitors from 8 miles away in Chapel Hill. Kendall Marshall will make his 6th consecutive start. He had 16 assists against Florida State Sunday. Dexter Strickland, Harrison Barnes, John Henson playing very well, and Tyler Zeller in the middle. For Duke, Tyler Thornton will make his 3rd consecutive start alongside Smith in the backcourt. With Singler up front, it'll be Ryan Kelly, who can stretch the defense, and Mason Plumlee, who's coming off 2 consecutive very good games.
You know, Dan, I think there are a couple of keys you got to think about. Number one, can they contain as the absolute Cameron Crazies going bananas? But if you're North Carolina, key, can they contain the three-point shooting of Duke? And number two, can their young players avoid losing their poise and composure with this frenzied crowd?
This is the 230th meeting all time between Carolina and Duke. Carolina leads the series 130-99. But for 5 of the key Tar Heels, they have never played in this building before. Mike Krzyzewski said, you know what? For the young Blue Devils, he doesn't want them to get so hyped up that they're spent by the time warm-up is over.
Yeah, you can have emotional fatigue. Also, Coach K, Roy Williams, how's this for a number? 7 squared, baby. 7 and 7 since Roy's been at North Carolina.
Henson steps out, misses the long jumper, and it's tapped into the backcourt, but out of bounds. So it'll be Duke's ball.
I think the key right now for North Carolina, as you look at Roy Williams, they can't afford to get down early. They got to keep this crowd, try to quiet it a little bit, and get some confidence. So playing really well early is vital.
Here's a number for you. Carolina's averaged 93 points per game in their last 3, all lopsided wins. Kelly and Zeller got a piece of it. One thing Duke is hoping for is that Kelly can pull either Zeller or Henson away from the basket, lessen the shot blocking a little bit. Mike Krzyzewski, 889 career wins. What a great drive and finish by Marshall. Let's talk about this young man. Larry Drew left the program. Even before that, Marshall had become the starter as Smith turns it over. Marshall's not a blur. A good shooter, but just great vision and poise.
He has really great basketball savvy. I'm going to take you on a journey way back in basketball. He reminds me of a guy way played before you. Very cool, very calm. Lenny Wilkins, when he played up Providence.
Misses the little floater. Zeller there for the follow. Duke's 2 big concerns, 1 getting back in transition, and 2 keeping Carolina off the offensive glass.
Well, Zeller gets on the offensive glass. They got a +6 margin rebound in North Carolina. But Duke has not been out rebounded since January 2nd.
Henson, or Barnes rather, blocks the Singler shot. Barnes is just playing so well the last couple of weeks, and he knocks it down. What a start for Carolina here on the road.
Harrison Barnes, that's going to give him a lot of confidence. He was recruited by both. He was here in 2009 when North Carolina ran Duke out of this building, and then he decided, I'm going to North Carolina.
Tyler Thornton, option number 5 offensively, really, in the starting lineup, misses the 3. Strickland in transition. And the layup is missed by Henson, and then the foul committed by Strickland.
Take a look right here with the block shot. Harrison Barnes, terrific job. Now we're going to watch him right here. Off the bounce from Ames, Iowa. He can shoot the 3, baby. Oh, yeah, that made him feel a little loose. I took him before the game. He looked a little bit uptight, very intense.
You know, the Virginia Tech game about 3 weeks ago, he was struggling. He hit 3 late shots to lead Carolina to a win as Smith misses the layup.
In 2009, when North Carolina ran Duke out of this building, and then he decided, I'm going to North Carolina.
Tyler Thornton, option number 5 offensively, really, in the starting lineup, misses the 3. Strickland in transition. And the layup is missed by Henson, and then the foul committed by Strickland.
Take a look right here with the block shot. Harrison Barnes, terrific job. Now we're going to watch him right here. Off the bounce from Ames, Iowa. He can shoot the 3, baby. Oh, yeah, that made him feel a little loose. I took him before the game. He looked a little bit uptight, very intense.
You know, the Virginia Tech game about 3 weeks ago, he was struggling. He hit 3 late shots to lead Carolina to a win as Smith misses the layup. It'll be Carolina ball. Ever since he made those 3 late shots to help him beat Virginia Tech, his confidence seems to have soared. He's not afraid to take late shots, and he's now playing like the guy that everybody thought he was going to be.
You know, he took a lot of late shots. You talk about winning the Miami game.
Yep.
Made a real clutch shot. The diaper dandy, I don't think there was any doubt he was a player. Just a matter of getting confidence.
Zeller inside, knocked away. Miles Plumlee and Seth Curry both in off the Duke bench. Duke 2 minutes and 20 seconds in, yet to score. Smith a little short. Good rebound by Zeller.
Zeller a key. He's got to be very active on the glass.
Barnes, nice little hesitation. Singler commits the foul.
Terrific triple threat position. Barnes catching the ball, facing Take a look at them right now. Those numbers are going to go way up. Look at to the right, 22.7 in the last 3 games. I think that is going to be more emblematic of the kind of season he will have from this moment on.
Those are wins over North Carolina State, Boston College, and Florida State. They beat Florida State by 20. Carolina won at BC by 32 points last year.
Yeah, they've been really just blowing people away. And it really all started after they were blown out by Georgia Tech. They made a change in the lineup. They inserted Marshall to the point guard slot, and they've been a different team.
I'll tell you, you got to have great concentration skills to shoot free throws in this building. 8-0 Carolina. Duke, the highest scoring team in the ACC at almost 85 points per game. Curry's coming on, playing better the last couple of weeks, knocking down some big shots. Mason Plumlee, nice little move, lost it on the way up though, and his big brother Miles is there to clean up the mess.
Miles working on the glass. The Plumlee brothers have been rebounding a lot better. There was a segment of time where they were getting no production at all on the interior. Mason's coming off his 2 best games, 16 and 12, 11 and 12 and 11.
Dexter Strickland coming off a 15-point game against Florida State. Henson, nice little move, scoops it up with the left hand and gets it to go.
I tell you, you talk about a 7'4" wingspan out of Sickles High School out of Tampa, Florida. You know, he started off slow last year, but at the end of the year, in the month of February, he picked it up. In fact, 7 of his 8 double-figure games were after February 4th.
Curry with a nice look. Offensive rebound, Mason Plumlee.
Key for Duke. You have to contain them from the 3. In their 2 losses, Dan, they shot so poorly against Florida State and St. John.
And Roy Williams does not expect that to happen in this building. Both of Duke's losses have been on the road. Smith on cue. A steal by Plumlee. And nearly 5 points in a matter of seconds for Duke.
What a year Nolan Smith's having, the All-American.
Zeller inside.
Hey, if Zeller and Henson had big games, that is such a big plus for North Carolina.
Smith the drive, left hand, yes!
Big time player, loves the big stage, loves the big moment, was brilliant leading him to the Golden Trophy after beating Butler.
Marshall, great penetration in the find to Zeller. Let's say it again. Kendall Marshall, a freshman, had 16 assists Sunday against Florida State. That's the most ever for a Carolina player in an ACC game.
Well, since a guy by the name of Raymond Felton had 18 a long time ago, but it wasn't an ACC game. He had it against George Mason, who, by the way, is having a great year this year.
A good start for the Tar Heels on the road here in hostile territory. A 7-point lead early for Carolina. John, thank you very much. So big wins tonight for Georgetown and Notre Dame. 2 teams playing extremely well, as is Carolina. They won 5 in a row and 10 of 11, and they're off to a great start here at Cameron. Great, strong drive there by Kyle Singler.
Nobody rotated over to take the baseline away. They allowed him to get to that baseline.
Marshall off balance, misses it. Keep in mind, he is a lefty, and we've seen him drive that way 3 times already.
What he does to make up for his lack of foot speed, he has great court savvy and a great basketball IQ. Marshall just understands how to play.
And there's a foul on Justin Watts of North Carolina. Let's check it again with Aaron Andrews.
Dan, Dick mentioned earlier that 82-50 loss the last time North Carolina came to Cameron Indoor. Well, that's something that really stuck with this Tar Heels team. Tyler Zeller said this week, our season was bad last year, but losing that game here at Cameron was something that stuck with this team all year. We were completely embarrassed. Roy Williams saying we were absolutely beaten up physically and mentally. This team wanting to forget.
I'll tell you one thing, Aaron. They better stop Mr. Smith, because if he gets on fire, he's going to really inspire and motivate this club. They go as he goes, Dan.
And there is no doubt, Dick, right? He's in the conversation for National Player of the Year.
Absolutely. He's got to be in the mix. You got to throw in Sullinger and certainly Jimmer Fredette would be my choice right now. Kemba Walker's slipped a little bit. His numbers once again in the Big East competition.
Smith again. And there are times where Smith acts as more of a distributor, but there are times when he knows he's got to put the ball in the basket, and he's got 8 early points tonight. Look at Marshall. Larry Drew will get into this more as the night goes along as Zeller is fouled. And again, Carolina getting on the glass.
Take a look at Nolan Smith. There he is, squaring his body for you young kids. Squares the body. Great rotation. And you mentioned Larry Drew. Think about this. Larry Drew was the point guard. And then all of a sudden, they made the change after they were blown out by Georgia Tech, put Marshall into the lineup, reduced his minutes, so that he played about 20-some minutes each. Could not accept that role. He would be a great player for North Carolina if he would have accepted the role of backing up Marshall coming off the bench. Putting on the team in February is an absolute no-no. The timing was horrendous that he left because he got no advantage in transfer that he's going to get an extra semester of eligibility.
He still has to wait until the fall of 2012. And his minutes went from about 22 to 18. It wasn't really that big of a difference. And he actually was playing very well. Was getting a lot of praise from Roy Williams. Now, we don't know if there's something off the court, personal issue. We can't speak to that. But from a basketball perspective, the timing was almost unprecedented as Carolina gets on the glass again. And this is Mike Krzyzewski's biggest fear coming true in this game, that they can't keep Zeller and Henson off the glass.
Well, he also told us that he wants to make it a half-court game.
Andre Dawkins for three.
He can shoot the ball. Hit two big threes against the Terps that helped to break that game open. Mike Krzyzewski told us before the game, if we play 5-5, we'll feel good. Well, right now, North Carolina's been able to make it a transition game.
Henson takes a bump and finishes again. You know, he's never going to be a bodybuilder, but he's about 15 pounds bigger than last year, and he's absorbing more contact.
Tell you one thing, he came on strong. The NIT really helped him last year, even though Roy Williams said it was his most impressive season ever as a coach.
They finished 20-17. They're 17-5 this year. Strickland, boy, oh boy.
He's explosive out of St. Patrick's, out of Elizabeth. Well, they got a terrific team headed by Michael Gilchrist, who will be at Kentucky, will start from day one.
You know, we've talked a lot of people have talked about there aren't that many opportunities this year to make a statement in the ACC because the league doesn't have that many highly ranked teams that are playing very well. North Carolina's got a chance to make a heck of a statement in this building.
Oh, absolutely. 32 in a row they've won here.
Curry from the baseline.
They got guys that can shoot the ball, though. They've been a little up and down, though, Curry and Dawkins, but so capable.
Strickland in a lot of traffic finds Knox. And the former Alabama Crimson Tide player is fouled. Here's John Henson.
Oh, Henson, what a terrific left hand. There he is laying it on the glass, long and lean. Now we get Knox on the line. Now let me get to my partner here. We talked about it in the Tennessee game. You know, I think you reward kids and academically graduate like he did from Alabama. But I talked to a lot of coaches, and they say a lot of the kids are using that as a loophole just for a basketball reason to leave. I'm not saying he did. I'm not saying he did. The rule is that if there's a graduate program at another school and not at yours, then you can transfer and be eligible.
Right, without sitting out a year.
Without sitting out a year. And my feeling is that when coaches work with you for 4 years, what about loyalty? But I can understand if the kid is pursuing a real specific academic reason for moving on. But many of them, it's a basketball-related reason.
Smith fouled before the shot by Strickland, his second. And that's something to keep an eye on. A very valuable player for Carolina. He'll go to the bench. Marshall comes back in it again with Drew gone. Even though Marshall's playing great, they're just not as deep in the backcourt. So now it's really Marshall, Strickland, and Leslie McDonald.
Well, you think about what North Carolina could have had. When the Braves not part of the team, you think about the Ware brothers transferring to UCLA. They would help them be so much more flexible.
Smith over John Henson.
Used the left hand, took it to the goal, sealed the defense off. Smith is having a fantastic year. Think about it. You can lead the conference in scoring and assists. No one's ever done.
Dick Grote did it for Duke. Actually led the country in scoring and assists, but that was when Duke was still in the Southern Conference, the predecessor to the ACC. Nobody has done it in this conference.
I used to love Dick Grote, man. Went on to baseball fame.
Played for the Pirates, won a World Series. Actually won one with the Cardinals as well, won 2 World Series. Behind the back, Marshall. Shot fake, step in, everything this kid's got game.
Yeah, he's really got game. He's got savvy left-handed. A guy that did it in the NBA, assist and scored. A guy by the name of Danny Archibald, a left-hander.
Our producer Kim Belton providing that information. We don't want to take the credit for stuff we didn't come up with ourselves, right? Singler takes the bump. No basket. Travel.
Excellent call. Excellent call. He definitely walked with the extra step.
Duke's in a battle. Down by 6 in spite of 10 early points from their superstar, Nolan Smith. And welcome back to Cameron Indoor Stadium. Dan Shulman and Dick Vitale, Aaron Andrews, and 9,314 people crammed into Cameron Indoor Stadium. And what a start to this game, 25-19. One guy they'd love to see, but one guy they haven't seen in a couple of months is Kyrie Irving. And you just know he's saying, man, I want to play so bad. He just wants to get out there. He's got the cast off, but Mike Krzyzewski, again, is not counting on him returning to active duty this season.
Look at him coaching. He's out there coaching a little bit. What a beautiful kid. I'll tell you, great personality. Came out of St. Patrick's Elizabeth. Was without a doubt an All-American. Was without a doubt from day one. Oh, look at these former Dukies. Danny Ferry, Steve's my barber, and so does Billy King. That's Billy the head now in New Jersey. Danny back with San Antonio, the Spurs.
And on the other side, Rasheed Wallace is here.
What a great game when I did it back there in the mid-90s. Rasheed played with Jerry Stackhouse. It was an overtime absolute delight to do.
That was the great reverse dunk by Stackhouse in that game, right?
Yeah. And I hit my head on this.
That's right.
Here.
That's right. Yeah.
Mike Patrick had to bail me out, man.
Carolina 25, Duke 19. Nolan Smith with 10 early.
Mike Patrick had to bail me out, man.
Carolina 25, Duke 19. Nolan Smith with 10 early points for Duke. John Henson's got 8 for Carolina. Leslie McDonald shooting the ball much better this year than he did a year ago. Misses that three and an over-the-back foul on Carolina.
You know, he came in known as a shooter, but he struggled shooting the three last year. I think sometimes it's shot selection. They were so frustrated last year. They were 5 and 11 in the ACC.
Henson called for the foul. Let's go down to Aaron Andrews, who's got more on Kyrie Irving.
Just to add a little bit about his injury, you guys mentioned he getting the cast off. You know, there is some hope here at Duke that he will play this season, but of course, Mike Krzyzewski saying that's probably not going to happen. I asked him, you know, big toe, how serious is that? And he said it's really like tearing an ACL or an MCL. You need that toe to push off, to run, to cut, to basically do anything. He says it's going to be fine once it heals, but that's a big injury.
There's a charge. Ryan Kelly's got a knack for doing that. This is a guy who only plays 18 minutes a game, but he's second in charges drawn. That's the 12th charge that he's drawn this year.
That's called a line of defense. They really establish a line of defense. He's back in position. I mean, there's no doubt. He's stationary.
Fourth turnover committed by Carolina. They got off to a blazing start, but Duke has crept back into it down by 6. They need somebody other than Nolan Smith to start scoring. Let's see if Singler can get going.
He's trying to post up on the inside.
Dawkins. And the rebound to Barnes.
I love the savvy when you think about North Carolina's young kids. They understand how to play. Kids like Barnes and Marshall.
2 freshmen, 2 sophomores on the floor right now for Carolina, along with the junior Zeller, who's missed so much time in his career. And there's a reach-in foul on Ryan Kelly. Rivalry Week continues tomorrow night on ESPN, the home court of college hoops. Starting at 7 Eastern, it'll be Connecticut. Take it on Steve Lavin, St. John's Red Storm, and then out to the Big Ten we go at 9 Eastern, Illinois and Minnesota. The Thursday night showcase on ESPN. How about Georgetown's win at Syracuse tonight?
I'll tell you one thing. You talk about veterans, when you talk about Georgetown, Notre Dame, and Wings, they got some stability.
On a bad play by Mason Plumlee. And impossible to hear the whistle. Apparently the players can, but he was called for a double dribble before he turned it over. You know, Carolina, meanwhile, has gone cold. Haven't scored in about 3.5 minutes.
I talked to Dick Weiss, who's really a knowledgeable basketball guy, yesterday. And we talked about how teams that have that stability and have a set lineup familiar with one another, what an advantage they have.
Barnes, a little strong rebound Singler.
Take a look at teams like Pittsburgh and Villanova. You'll be doing that game Saturday.
You got a good one, too. Ohio State at Wisconsin, 2 Eastern on ESPN. Singler posting, blocked from behind by Zeller.
Good rotation by Zeller, making it tough for Singler to shoot over him. Got a little better spacing right now, North Carolina. Great up and under move.
John Henson again.
Terrific up and under move for you young kids. Established his pivot foot, gave that great pump fake, and then we're right under the defensive play.
Mike Krzyzewski said this morning he thinks Carolina's got 2 lottery picks on the team. Pickball there in Henson and Barnes. I don't know how you can argue the point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look at him, he's asking. He said, get it to me, get it to me. I want that ball inside. And he knows what to do. Faces?
Nice.
Good. What a great. See, a lot of times the guys have tried to utilize that move and they'll pick up the pivot foot.
And he has shown a knack already tonight, scoring with the left hand and the right hand. You don't know which way he's going to go. Nolan Smith, no. Follow, no. Miles Plumlee lost it. Carolina ball. Marshall, look at that pass.
Are you kidding me? Are you serious?
Basket.
But you're not going to wave off the pass. That pass was absolutely brilliant. I'm telling you, man, years ago, he goes at the pace of a Lenny Wilkins, who started at Providence with the Friars. Watch this pass. This is a left hand, great bounce pass. I'm going to tell you, he's going to put up some assists that are unbelievable before he's done.
Singler takes the charge, and Dick, notably, it's the 3rd foul on Dexter Strickland. He goes back to the bench. McDonald and Marshall in the backcourt now.
And that is really big, as you said earlier, because without Drew now, that really means Marshall's going to play a lot of minutes.
Reggie Bullock with a steal. Nice bounce pass. Henson. And Miles Plumlee is fouled.
You know, you look at Henson's body, long and lean. It's reminiscent, though he doesn't have this kind of game, because Sam was such an outstanding jump shooter as well. But he's got that long, lean body like Sam Perkins.
Number 2 on Henson. So now Watts is coming to the game. No Henson, no Strickland. Barnes is on the bench right now. The depth of Carolina being tested at this point, Dick.
I'll tell you one thing, they've been very impressive here in the first 12 minutes of this game. Look at him teaching. Roy Williams is teaching. He is working right now, mentally trying to get into them to understand, keep their poise, keep their composure, execute.
Miles Plumlee, 62% free throw shooter, misses the front end. Bullock slips, and a foul is the call, says Brian Kersey.
You know, Bullock came in with a big reputation, Dan, as a long-range shooter. He really struggles, though, at the free throw line.
The foul on Nolan Smith, his first. The 15th foul on Duke. Carolina's already over the limit with 8.
Look at the savvy this kid has. They're trying to hedge on him. Doesn't have the great foot speed, but he has that great savvy and knack for beating the defensive player.
Great entry pass to Zeller. He has it stripped. Hey, boys, it's not a football fumble. They blew the whistle. It's going to the arrow.
Tell you one thing, not many guys know how to feed the post. That's a lost art. The best I saw in college was Pearl Washington.
Look at this battle for the ball. Carolina leading by 8.
Montross looks like the raging bull.
He's bleeding. He's tough. He's hard-nosed. He's scrapping. He's clawing.
Oh, we got a fight over here.
Is there any doubt this is the best rivalry in college basketball?
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt whatsoever. I think it's the best rivalry in all college sports. You can't say professional because that Yankee Red Sox is kind of special.
230th meeting. Carolina leading 130-99. Duke won both last year. Since Roy Williams came to Chapel Hill as the head coach, 7 wins, 7 losses against Duke. Mike Krzyzewski, 34-35 all time against Carolina. 3-on-1.
Oh, what a great pass there. What a great simple pass. The bounce pass, 3-point opportunity. There aren't many kids that are going to think and have the IQ of Marshall. That kid's a freshman. It's unbelievable. How did he sit the bench early this year?
The block called on Tyler Thornton will give Leslie McDonald an opportunity for a 3-point play.
I'm going to tell you a big stat early. Duke is really talented enough. They attack that they get to the free throw line. They're 0 for 1 right now. They've only been in the line one time thus far in 13 minutes of action.
Thornton shaken up. Curry back in. Duke's only taken 1 free throw, as you said. They're getting out rebounded 18-10. They're shooting 33% to 52% for Carolina. In some ways, they're fortunate to be down only 10.
They're shooting only 3 for 9 as well from the three-point line. And those 2 losses, I don't want to magnify it, but those 2 losses with St. John's and with Florida State, I thought athleticism hurt them in both those losses, and they really were contained from the 3.
Nolan Smith keeping his team in the game with 12 of the 21.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do if you're a Player of the Year candidate. Yeah. You got to respond in adversity.
Singler's only 1 for 4, 2 points.
Doubling up, you got to find the open man.
Zeller does.
Oh, great ball movement.
Watts, follow. Zeller again. They are destroying Duke on the glass.
Dominating the glass. Really getting up with the size they have. I'm going to tell you, with the Weir brothers, they would have been a special team because they would have given them flexibility. 7 rebounds for Zeller.
Another guy, Will Graves, was really one of their better players. He was dismissed from the program. Singler for 3. Big shot for the Blue Devils.
They needed that big 3. And the veteran player responded because he's been really silent thus far. They've contained him.
Out of bounds to Carolina.
Always a threat with the way they shoot the 3. Always a threat to get back quickly from being in a deficit.
Kyle Singler, 5th on Duke's all-time scoring list. He's now got 2,185 points. He should catch Mike Juminski. He might catch Christian Laettner and wind up 3rd all-time. J.J. Redick and Johnny Dawkins are safe.
That's pretty good company, huh? Mike Juminski in the house right now.
Henson's had a big first half. Both big guys, Henson and Zeller, playing well. Bullock, the quick trigger. Rebound, Mason Plumlee.
Mason Plumlee coming off 2 double-doubles. Had a big game early this year against Marquette.
25 and 12, went 12 and 11 at Maryland, went 16 and 12 on the weekend in a blowout against North Carolina State.
And that's a good Marquette team. Take them out of the Big East, put them anywhere else, they'd be a threat to win conference championships.
Agreed. League might get 10 or 11 schools into the NCAA tournament.
I think the ACC, though it's not a vintage year, I think you're going to get 5 out of the ACC.
We're looking at 2 of them right here. Smith, no. Rebound, Bullock. Florida State, of course, has the win over Duke. You know Maryland's going to be in the hunt.
And also Virginia Tech. Clemson's playing better.
We got a good one coming up a couple of weeks from now. Duke at Virginia. Entry feed and the slam by Knox.
Knox gets free. He's a physical kind of player. Came out of Alabama. By the way, what a job Anthony Grant has done down at the Crimson Tide. Play a little football down here, Mr. Saban.
Alabama leading the SEC West right now. Another block by Henson.
He is creating havoc, man. I'll tell you, his shot blocking ability is creating havoc.
Marshall the steal. Numbers again.
Look at him. They are beating him in transition.
Take a deep breath and Marshall resets.
Can't get any shots though for Barnes. They've done a good job defensing Barnes right now.
The spin by Marshall, fade away, no, air ball, Duke ball.
Bad shot.
Curry. And knocks the rebound. Not many second opportunities for the Blue Devils. Long pass to Henson. And it'll be Carolina ball. Well, you said maybe 5 coming out of the ACC into the NCAA tournament. Florida State. You look at that bunch up in the middle. You talked about Clemson, Virginia Tech, Maryland, and BC.
You know, I think some of those teams are going to get themselves a little roll and be able to get in. You can have some right now play themselves out of a potential bid and some play themselves in. That's why it's so vital now to play well.
Barnes short. Rebound Smith. With everything else, Nolan Smith averages almost 5 rebounds per game as well. Not bad for a 6'2 guard. Singler driving. Singler. Yes.
Tapping the basket. I tell you, Singler and Nolan Smith. You talk about 2 guys that are consummate stars on a collegiate level. I don't know about the NBA level, but as collegiates, they are all Americans.
Both seniors.
North Carolina getting some good ball movement. They like to try to get this guy one-on-one. Picked up his dribble. That's a no-no. from out of Ames, Iowa. And they got a commitment just the other day from a kid out of Iowa. A terrific point guard in 2012 by the name of Page.
Carolina ball, but we come back. 3:22 to go with the first half. Kyle Singler trying to get involved offensively. Running into the long arms of the law, John Henson, but finishing over top of him. John back here at Cameron along with Dick Vitale, Aaron Andrews. I'm Dan Schulman. An 8-point lead for North Carolina. The play of the big guys. Tyler Zeller, John Henson has been outstanding. And for Duke, right now it's Smith and Singler, and we're not sure who at this point of the game. Hey, Rivalry Week on ESPN continues Saturday with a full slate of great games beginning at noon Eastern. Big East Power, Syracuse and Louisville, both coming off tough losses tonight. They'll meet at noon Eastern. And number 1 and undefeated Ohio State, they head up to the Kohl Center where almost nobody gets out of there with a win. That's 2 Eastern. Rivalry Week presented by Cisco on ESPN.
You know, I spoke to Thad Matta today, and I said, Thad, everybody's saying maybe a loss would do you really well. You know, get that loss to pressure. He said, are you kidding me? I haven't met a coach, and I know I don't want a loss, I'll tell you that. I mean, he's right about that. Nobody wants to lose. But if they lose, everybody says, you know, that's great. It takes the pressure away.
Now, the officials, there may have been something that happened in the stands. I don't know if somebody threw something, said something, did something, but the officials, it looks like they're talking to somebody. I don't know if they're going to remove somebody, but trying to keep a lid on the crowd to make sure this stays within the bounds of good taste.
Well, we're so far away, we can't tell you what's going on.
We're up high. We're perched up high at roof level. Leslie McDonald.
He can shoot the three. Good ball reversal. Again, you mentioned about the domination by their big people. You know, Zeller and Henson, 20 points and 13 rebounds between them. And you look at Plumlee's, they really have been non-existent.
Smith the kick to Dawkins. Offensive rebound, Miles Plumlee.
That's a good rebound right there. Give him a second opportunity. They did that so well last year with Suga.
Yeah. Singler, no.
You don't want to become exclusively shooting threes. They did that when you and I were down in Tallahassee.
Zeller is fouled. Marshall, and this is another thing Mike Krzyzewski talked about at shoot-around today, and you talked about it. Duke wants more of a 5-on-5 game. The two concerns for Duke were offensive rebounding of Carolina and transition opportunities of Carolina, and it's been two nightmares for Duke so far.
Absolutely. They have not been able to stop North Carolina getting up in transition. And then when Duke forces turnovers, they had forced 7 turnovers. They get 0 points off the turnovers.
We saw Tyler Thornton injured earlier. Aaron, what's the latest?
He has not returned since taking that hard fall on the court there. He was receiving some medical, the athletic trainer was looking after him. It looked like he took maybe some aspirin. Then they were trying to actually massage his back. But like you said, he has not been out there since that fall at all. And he's a guy that sets the tone defensively for this Duke team.
You know, Aaron, he does. And I'll tell you what else he does when he's on the floor. He allows Nolan Smith not to get fatigued pressuring the basketball because he plays off the ball.
Now Smith moves back to more of a point guard position offensively and defensively. Foul on Barnes, 1-and-1 for Miles Plumlee. Missed the front end earlier, makes it here.
First point gets scored from the free throw line. You look at North Carolina's losses this year. Minnesota beat by 5, Vandy by 7, Illinois by 12, lost a heartbreaker in Texas, blown out by poor UNC Georgia Tech team.
Barnes trying to go coast to coast.
Can't teach that.
Count the basket.
Can't teach that, my friends. And he sat in the crowd. He was here on a visit at Duke in 2009. He sat here, and the place was absolutely going wild. They wanted him so badly here. But that game was dominated by North Carolina. And he said, I am going to Chapel Hill. Look at him. There's that athleticism. Cups the ball, lays it up on the glass.
He has been Carolina's leading scorer 3 straight games, averaging almost 23 points per game over that stretch.
25, 26, and 17.
7 a night. Mr.
Clutch makes big shots at the end of the game. He will be a special North Carolina player, not just a good one.
14-point lead for Carolina here at Cameron. Whoa, yes, he did.
You know, you look at the deficit here. You would say, are you surprised? I am surprised. I'm surprised here because it's at Duke and Cameron and Durham. Not surprised that Carolina's leading, but they are dominating. They are dominating.
Back to Cameron Indoor Stadium, where the Duke Blue Devils have the longest active home court winning streak in college basketball. Kansas had, what was it, 69, I think, before they lost to Texas a couple of weeks ago. Now Duke at 32 is the longest in the country, but look out. Carolina's up 14 late in the first half.
And really playing exceptionally well. Offensively, they're so efficient. Look at Kyrie Irving. He is coaching and coaching. Oh, they'd love to have him on the floor. When you had Irving out there with Singler and you had him with Nolan Smith, it was so difficult to defend because they spread the court. Spacing was so important with those three, and they were dynamite together.
And right now you don't have Smith. He's got 2 fouls, so it looks like Mike Krzyzewski doesn't want to have him to risk picking up the third before the end of the first half. It'll be Duke ball, so you've got Curry and Dawkins in the backcourt right now for Duke. Curry, the de facto point guard.
You know, Duke's good, solid players. 2 guys were coming off the bench.
Thornton shaken up a little bit earlier. Carolina, look at that, 11-0 in transition. We saw Harrison Barnes do that just a moment ago.
And they've done a great job defensively, North Carolina.
Travel on Plumlee. The 9th turnover committed by Duke in what has been a miserable first half offensively.
Well, here in the first half, getting 0 productivity in a low post. As you said earlier, Mike Krzyzewski 34-35 versus North Carolina in his illustrious Hall of Fame career. Trying to get to that 500 mark. Trust me, there aren't many coaches 500 against North Carolina.
No. And he's got a chance to get to 900 and then surpass Bob Knight this year as Division I's all-time winningest coach if Duke has a deep run into the tournament. Air ball, offensive rebound, putback. Zeller, who now has 13 points and 8 rebounds.
Unbelievable. Harrison Barnes said, give me an assist. I want to make a pass on that play. But they are absolutely dominating on the interior.
Singler, boy, that's a tough shot from the corner off the bounce. McDonald the rebound, and here they come again, but a travel is called. As the ruling is that McDonald took a couple of steps before he passed the ball.
Duke swept them both last year, blew them out, beat them by double figures 2 times. I'll tell you who was big in the matchups last year. John Shire. Colton Tudor wrote about it today in the Raleigh newspaper. He was a dominant force.
Never turned the ball over.
No. 12 assists, 1 turnover, and had 44 points in the 2 matchups.
Singler misses.
This kid's headed, man. This kid knows how to play with the ball. Number 5, Marshall.
McDonald in and out. Zeller another big-time rebound, but he's blocked.
And he did a terrific job getting that rebound in space. His brother is the young guy they're hoping from Washington High School in Indiana to change the whole situation at Indiana. Cody, right?
Yep. His brother Luke played at Notre Dame.
What a job Mike Gray's done. Former assistant here.
7th in the country, picked up an overtime win over Louisville tonight.
Ben Hansbrough, Tyler's brother, has been sensational.
Curry rattles it home. And the first half comes to a close with North Carolina getting out, running and gunning, dominating on the glass, and holding a 14-point lead at halftime here at Cameron Indoor Stadium over the 5th-ranked team in the nation, the Duke Blue Devils. There has to be a lot of concern for Duke. Aaron Andrews is with associate head coach Chris Collins.
Dan, thanks. Not the start you wanted, obviously. What's the first thing, the number one thing you want corrected in the second half?
I think more poise on offense. You know, we're taking a lot of quick shots. We're trying to go one-on-one. We're not making their defense move, and then because of it, they're getting a lot of fast break opportunities. So we got to do a better job on offense.
They're big guys, Henson, Zeller, having the time of their lives here in the first half. What adjustment do you make on those 2?
Well, we got to block out, and it's not just one guy. They're getting a lot of offensive rebounds, and not turning the ball over to really help us.
All right, thanks so much. Dan.
Aaron, thank you very much. A lot to talk about in the Duke locker room at halftime. They're down 14. Let's head back to the studio now. John Anderson, Jay Billis, Hubert Davis with the UPS halftime reports.
Welcome into the ESPN3.com halftime report. I'm Cassidy Hubbard. Coming up, our experts will preview the Big Ten showdown between undefeated Ohio State.
Welcome back to Durham, North Carolina. The Tar Heels and the Blue Devils, and the visiting Tar Heels up by 14. Welcome back to Wednesday Night Hoops, presented by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, all a part of Rivalry Week, presented by Cisco. Carolina 43, Duke 29. They did two things very well. The two things Mike Krzyzewski was worried about: offensive rebounding and getting out in transition. And the big guys were great for Carolina as we take a look at our Reese's perfect play.
I tell you one thing, the gentleman, a perfect play. Doesn't get much better than this post move right here. Look at the fake, the up and under, keeps the pivot foot down, and looks smooth, laying it in with that left hand. And then it was transition, baby. Run, baby, run. That was the model. What a great look by Marshall passing the basketball.
Carolina shooting 47% to just 33% for Duke. Had Nolan Smith not made a number of shots early in the half, this could have been a blowout. The big guys for Carolina, Zeller and Henson, completely dominant against the Plumlees and Kelly.
You know, Duke with the three, 4 for 13, shooting the three. I take you back again. There are 2 losses. St. John's, Florida State. They were contained from the three.
Aaron Andrews had a chance to talk to Roy Williams. EA?
Coach Williams stressing this team needs to continue to attack, grab the long rebounds, because Duke scored 10 points off of those. And Nolan Smith, Kyle Singler, the guys you got to try to contain. By the way, the Tar Heels in their huddle screaming, last year was their year, this year is our year. I cleaned up the rest of it. This is not proper for Dickie B.
That's our delicate flower, Aaron Andrews. 43-29 Carolina. Roy Williams doesn't look like a guy who's up 14 points, but let's repeat again like what we said off the top of the show. Carolina's won 5 in a row. The last 3 by 20 or more points. They've won 10 of 11. This is a different basketball team now than it was in November.
Well, it changed drastically when he inserted Marshall into that starting lineup. They became a different team, and I'm certainly not saying that to blame anything on Larry Cruz, because obviously coming off the bench, he was a valuable contributor.
One free throw for Kelly and a tap back for another possession for the Blue Devils. Tyler Thornton does not start the second half. Injured in the first half. Seth Curry's in there as Smith bangs home a 3.
You better find those three-point shooters, because quickly they can get back right in the game.
Good D by Smith on Marshall.
If they're going to get back, they better tee it up. You'd like to see and heard what was said in that locker room at halftime.
Strickland playing with 3 fouls that he picked up in the first half.
Turnover, 2-on-1.
Curry for 3.
It's amazing how guys just fan out and let the three-point line.
It's changed the game, huh?
Yeah, it really changed the complexion of the game rather than attack and get a 2-on-1 layup.
Henson draws the double team and travels.
He lifted that pivot foot, something he didn't do earlier. Crowd getting all fired up, trying to inspire, trying to motivate.
A look at the first half stats. Look at the numbers for Zeller and Henson as Carolina dominated inside. And for Duke, no surprise, Smith and Singler, the top 2 scorers as always. Kelly, offensive foul.
I think they're doing exactly what Chris Collins talked about. Shooting the ball too quickly, not getting enough ball movement, not making North Carolina play on the defensive side.
And Duke with only 4 assists on 13 made field goals. They're usually a team that'll get 60-70% of their field goals on assists because they share the ball so beautifully. But tonight, a lot of one-on-one play.
Yeah, not moving the basketball, not getting enough ball movement, player movement. I know Hubert Davis got to be smiling back in the studio. Jay Billis is saying, come on, let's go, Duke.
Curry called for the block. John Henson's ability has always been there. His confidence, you can see, is growing by the week right now.
My confidence would grow, too, if I was average 7'4" wingspan, was lean and quick.
Now, his confidence is not so good here at the charity stripe. No charity for him here, 40% on the season.
Really struggles on that free throw line. Kind of guy that you would want to foul late in the game in a close situation. Becomes a liability.
And they track him in practice, and he makes like 75-80%. You get into a game situation, you can't make him.
As his dad's in the house out of Tampa, Florida. Proud of his son, likes what he sees on that scoreboard. They can get into single digits here. They're going to get some movement. See, they're just trying to look for that quick 3.
Smith. And a block is the call underneath the basket. Smith will be going to the free throw line. Unfortunately, fortunate not to be shaken up.
See, he's an attacker, and so was Kyrie Irving. That was Irving's game. He would beat you off the bounce, and then if you played off him, he would be able to stroke it from deep.
Third foul on John Henson. Irving looking on from the bench as Smith heads to the line. 21 points per game, 5.6 assists per game, 83% from the stripe.
Your athlete should have the attitude of a kid like Irving. He's still part of the team. There he is right there. Look at him, pleaded. He's coaching. And I'm going to tell you one thing, he's having a blast here, but something doesn't like what he sees on that board.
Another offensive rebound. Carolina still hasn't scored in the half. Duke's got it from 14 down to 9, and they got the ball again.
It's got to get a little nervous time right now. Roy Williams going to be chewing on that mailbox, baby.
Curry, a good look. Yes!
Around to square up their body and shoot the three. Open looks. They weren't getting the open look. And T.O., baby. And a T.O., the Dukies are back.
An 8-0 run for Duke to start the second half. And they're right back in it here in Durham. Point lead at the half is down to 6. 2 minutes and 40 seconds into the second half here at Cameron. Hey, Friday night, catch a couple of hot NBA games on ESPN. It begins with the Lakers taking on the Knicks at 8 o'clock Eastern time, and then the Western Conference matchup between the Phoenix Suns and the Utah Jazz at 10:30. It all begins with the NBA countdown at 7:30 Eastern time. NBA Friday on ESPN. Here Wednesday night college basketball on ESPN, presented by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. And really the signature game in the minds of many people in Rivalry Week every year is Zeller slips free, assist number 5 for Kendall Marshall. First points, never mind first points, first field goal attempt here in the second half for Carolina.
Terrific timeout right there. Set that two-man play up. Great entry by Marshall. Wide open Zeller.
Curry trying to shake his defender. Mason Plumlee an offensive rebound.
Good rebound by Plumlee. And again, Duke shooting the ball too quickly. Make the defense have to work. Get some movement.
Plumlee banging with Zeller. Gives it up to Kelly, who's going to hit that shot. Misses the three, and the long rebound to Strickland.
That timeout looked like it was a plus for Roy Williams in North Carolina. See, it's 5 on 5. And even though he scores down in the post, he's playing really well, man.
17, Dick. 17 for Tyler Zeller. Smith at the other end.
Nolan Smith trying to carry his glove.
18 for Smith.
Duke's got to do a better job defensively.
Harrison Barnes quiet after a hot start tonight.
Plus Singler doing a great job on him defensively, not allowing him to get the ball.
1-2. Banked in by Strickland.
The bank is open, as Timmy B would say. Strickland. He said, I'll take it. I planned it all away from out of St. Pat's Elizabeth.
And the lead goes back into double figures now for Carolina.
I tell you, what a job Singler's done defensively on Barnes now. He's not letting him touch the basketball.
Barnes just called for a foul.
A little different than guarding guys in Ames, Iowa. Guarding here is Singler.
Look at Roy Williams working on him in the last timeout. Carolina by 10. Man, how Nolan Smith's game has grown over the years. No John Shire this year. Kyrie Irving injured right now, so Smith taking a huge offensive load upon himself for this team. Thinking about times as a scorer, also leading the ACC in assists at 5.5 per game. Just having a sensational all-round season. And cheerleader number 1 right now for the Duke Blue Devils is Kyrie Irving. What a mark he made in just 8 games playing. Who knows if he'll come back this year? Who knows if he'll come back to college next year? So it's a different team right now. Mike Krzyzewski says, I've coached 2 teams this year. One up until December the 4th and one since then after the injury to Irving, when he said they had to change their entire game plan for the season.
Well, he played 8 games. You know, you took a look there at Nolan Smith, who could become the first player ever to lead the conference in scoring and assists. Showed his multi-talents.
Singler misses the 3. Long rebound. Smith. Yes!
He's doing it all. Gets the rebound. Has the medium-range jump shot. Has the long-range jump shot. One of the great collegians in the game.
20 for Smith. 8-point lead, Carolina. Marshall, he's strong, trying to bull his way into the paint, finds Zeller, and Miles Plumlee, I think it was, got a piece.
Good defensive effort by Plumlee right there, because that was a good look by Marshall.
Kelly has had 2 wide open looks, and he's a good three-point shooter. Missed one long, missed one short.
Came up with the offensive rebound again.
Curry with a foot on the line. It's a long 2 for Seth Curry.
2 consecutive possessions. North Carolina doesn't block out. They get the second opportunity, one by Smith, and one right there by Curry, and they score.
And Seth Curry making his presence felt. He's got 9. Henson pulls up for the wing jumper. Another rebound for Plumlee.
Very suspect shooter. He's more of an attacker, offensive rebounder, jammer. And you talk about Henson.
Smith using the ball screen. Crossover on Marshall. Puts it up. Knocks it down.
Why not? He's velvet. He's velvet. He's smooth. He's got dunk. He's tickling the draw. They're jumping with joy now. Great back block.
And a block is the call on Kelly underneath the basket. His third. He tried to take another charge, something he did in the first half.
Well, he was in an area where that's going to be called a block.
Duke has outscored Carolina 16-6 so far in the second half. And to the line for Carolina goes the sophomore out of Memphis, Leslie McDonald, or excuse me, Strickland. Dexter Strickland at the line for Carolina.
Hey, one thing about Duke, usually very effective coming out of the locker room, and certainly that's a tribute to the coaching ability of Mike Krzyzewski. They come out usually with intensity. Take a look right there. First 5 minutes of the second half, usually really on a plus side. They come out and play with some fire. You got to believe there was some absolute verbosity in that locker room.
Verbosity?
I don't know, is that a good word?
I bet you there was some verbosity.
Oh,
might need a new coat of paint in the locker room on the walls, huh? If Coach K peeled the paint off it with his halftime speech, much like Roy Williams did in that first timeout here in the second half.
Both guys are such intense competitors. Both have such a passion.
Singler turns the corner. Mason Plumlee back into the game. Now for Kelly for Duke. Bullock and Knox have come in for Carolina. Curry again. He is having some kind of a night. And now they're going to blow the whistle right away to see if it's a 2 or a 3. Remember Aaron saying, who's that third guy going to be? It looks like his mom looks on approvingly. It's going to be Seth Curry tonight.
Tell you one thing, he's making a little brother Stefan, a big brother. He's making like his brother. Somebody shot the rock. Think about what he did at Davidson. Came 1 shot away from leading him to the Final Four.
And now putting up huge numbers for Golden State in the NBA. Mom and, of course,
she looks like the sister.
Dad Dell, she does, doesn't she? Yeah,
she looks like the sister. I thought she's a college student. Come on now.
So they're reviewing whether or not it was a 2 or a 3 for Seth Curry.
Well, we certainly can't tell where we're sitting, baby. Remember that?
Looks like a 2 from that angle.
And the line in front of that line is the women's game. Why can't there be uniformity? Why can't there be rules that apply to both? It's amazing.
It's a 2. It's a 4-point game. And Cameron Indoor is delirious right now with his second half comeback. Marshall will shoot a couple. He's a strong kid.
He's very strong to the goal. But one of the things that's happening now, it's becoming a 5-on-5 game. Right. And that is advantage to
number 3 on Nolan Smith. Hey, Rivalry Week continues tomorrow night here on ESPN, the home court of college hoops. Big East matchup. Connecticut and St. John's at 7 Eastern, Illinois, Minnesota at 9 Eastern. Rivalry Week presented by Cisco, part of the Thursday Night Showcase on ESPN.
Our former colleague Steve Lavin has brought some excitement there and at St. John's. Listen, a tough game on the road. I know a game that really, I'm sure Dan Deep wanted so badly against UCLA.
Plumlee another rebound. The big guys for Duke have been more of a factor here in the second half.
It's becoming more of a 5-on-5 kind of game. Got a hold inside.
Bullock called for the hold, his first foul. Singler, a tough matchup for Bullock and for Barnes. A couple of freshmen trying to guard the senior. Looks like Bullock kind of grabbed the wrist of Singler there.
To me, that's a mismatch. I don't believe he can handle him on the inside.
And right now, Carolina goes smaller on Singler. Leslie McDonald, 6'4" guard, is on him.
He's a good athlete.
Smith the floater, short. Henson the rebound.
One thing about Singler, he'll play on a perimeter, so that's not a situation where he's going to take in a post.
Nice look to Bullock. Curry the rebound. Bullock knocks him down and he picks up another foul.
Reggie Bullock had the wide open look created by the look and the vision of Marshall with his size and strength. Got to make that open three. Club struggling. Came in with a reputation as a shooter.
Seth Curry playing well. He's picked up his game the last couple of weeks. Thornton out with an injury tonight. Curry getting a ton of minutes.
Transfer from Miami Liberty.
Singler misses the three. Mason Plumlee, another offensive rebound.
I tell you, the Duke kids, as you said, Dan, a little more tenacity on the glass, really getting after the ball.
Dick, they've got 7 offensive rebounds in the second half.
Just think about that. They've scored, I believe, at least 4 of those.
11 points off them. Singler to miss, and finally Carolina gets it. And here comes Marshall.
And a ball
to Zeller.
What a terrific look. What a terrific look. Great vision for you young kids out there. You watch him with the ball. His head is never down. His head is always up. Looking, finding open people.
6 assists now for the freshman to Kendall Marshall. 19 points for Tyler Zeller. Smith can't finish. Zeller another rebound.
Again, bounce, one-on-one. Look at the ball movement.
Donald misses the three. Mason Plumlee the rebound. Zeller, by the way, already has a double-double tonight as Marshall is called for the foul. To a timeout here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Roy Williams working as hard as his players here tonight as Carolina tries to hang on to the lead here in the second half. So we know Villanova's going to be in an angry mood Saturday night when we see them against Pittsburgh, as our game day gang will be there here on ESPN. Roy Williams again really going to the whip on his players here in the second half. I mean, really trying to get them going. Now, this is before the last timeout as Roy Williams almost went down to his knees. And you'll remember, Dick, the last couple of years, he's had issues with vertigo. And he's been dizzy at times. Steve Robinson leaning down saying, "Are you okay?" And Coach Williams is okay. He's fine. I mean, he is really getting after his players here in the second half.
He is really fired up. You know, Henson had a big first half. 0 for 1 here in the second half. Now rebounding like he did. On the other side, it's a 2-1 ratio in shots attempted. You got 17 by Duke and only 8 by North Carolina. And that's because of the offensive rebound.
Nolan Smith with 22 points in the game, the high score. Tyler Zeller leads Carolina with a 19. Smith, deep one. And a big-time rebound in traffic by Justin Knox.
Harrison Lawrence 0 for 0 here in the second half.
And there's a Duke foul. Well, we haven't seen Tyler Thornton since early in the game. Aaron Andrews has the latest.
Yeah, an update from Duke. Tyler Thornton has a bruised back. We saw him take that fall kind of midway through the first half. He obviously hasn't seen any action. They do say he is available. We talked about him, a tough, scrappy kind of guy, sets the tone defensively. You know, he'd love to be out there. We'll see if he comes back.
The one thing, though, Aaron, when you look at Duke, they really don't go to their bench. They really play their solid core of players.
Miles Plumlee's had a much better second half than he did the first half.
Well, I think somebody got to him about rebounding because they were absolutely dominated on the glass by North Carolina in that first half. That's when they were up 14.
The handoff to Curry. It's a three.
Why not? Why not get it to the hot shooter? He's hot right now. He wants the rock. Mom loves what she sees.
14 for Curry off the bench.
That's pretty productive. That's a roll-aid specialist, man. He's giving you lots of relief.
Especially with Singler. He's only got 7 tonight, so Smith needs some help tonight. Curry's been the guy. The young Carolina team, their core is really being tested right now. Singler saves it. Great play.
Veteran play. Put in the hands of Nolan Smith.
Curry, nice step in. 10-footer, yes.
Somebody gonna find him, man. He's nothing like his brother. He carried that Davidson club when he was a collegiate. He has shooting ball. No, he led the nation for freshman when he was at Liberty before transferring.
20 points per game. Carolina turns it over.
Oh, look at that intensity. Look at the emotion. Comes from a basketball family. Dad was a great shooter. Nice fake. Squares his body. Oh, look at her intensity. Look at her passion.
Mom's having fun.
Dad was some kind of shooter.
Oh, was he?
Former Virginia Tech superstar.
A lot of years in the NBA as well. Here is Curry again.
Oh, what a show he's putting on. Are you serious, Mr. Curry?
And now a foul at the other end. Duke has never led in this game. But the way Seth Curry's going, it feels like they're going to be leading very soon unless Carolina puts the clamps on.
I'll tell you one thing, a breakout game like this in a major stage, in a major moment, could lift his confidence big time. Psychologically, it can work like you cannot believe because he's struggled this year. He's been up and down. Free throw line could be so important coming down the stretch. Been late in this game. Now we're in single digits on the clock. 9:30 left.
The lead is one for Carolina. A chance for Duke to take its first lead of the entire game. They were down 14 at the half.
Well, the Guardians came out on fire, dominated right from the get-go. You knew there was going to be a spurt by Duke. I mean, you just know, especially here.
Good looks.
They could beat anyone. That's their first lead of the night. As my buddy just told you a moment ago.
Strickland. And this place, the roof's about to blow off this building. This is unbelievable.
It's electric, man. It's electric.
What a difference here in the second half. Smith. Kelly. Does it again, Singler. And finally, Carolina ball.
You know, they do a great job tipping the ball back down.
Marshall, no. Henson lost it. Smith one-on-one with Strickland. Foul, basket.
PTP, baby. They're dancing. Look at Kyrie Irving. He's not dancing. What a prime time performer, baby. He's a PTP. They catch the ball out to Nolan. Strolling Nolan. Sliding and gliding. Going right to the right. This and Rock Chalk Jayhawk Land, to me, are the two best venues in college basketball. You owe yourself, if you're a college hoops fanatic and a fan, to one time go to a game over at Allen Fieldhouse and right here at Cameron Indoor Stadium.
It's funny you say that. I had a chance to visit with Scott Van Pelt on ESPN Radio today. He asked me that same question, and I gave the exact same answer you just gave.
Scott would say, wait a minute, what about my terms? See, now you got to worry about poise right now.
Bullock open in the corner.
Not even close.
And Henson there for the follow. Carolina needed that.
That's what he's doing well, really. The one area Harrison Barnes has to work on is how to move without the ball. He stands as stationary and it becomes easy to defend and not utilize all his gifted skills.
Chasing Singler around a series of screens right now. Singler pleading for a foul. Here comes Marshall.
He's got Harrison. There it is.
Bullock. Too strong. Henson puts it right back up. And finally, Barnes on the glass. What a great sequence there for the Tar Heels.
Well, what a pass he made out to Bullock. He just can't seem to find that three to fall for him. We got a good one, baby. This is a rivalry.
Boy, do we.
This is a rivalry. When you're 7-7 each, coach, a rivalry. Not like when we had Kansas State. That was no rivalry. That's a mismatch. 42-2.
This one's a whole lot closer. Bullock, no. Henson, this is like what the first half was like. Henson misses. Barnes with another offensive rebound, and he gets the roll as Carolina asserts itself on the glass like they did in the first 20 minutes as they roll to a 14-point lead at one point, led by as many as 16. Down by one now. We need a breather. EA, what do you got?
I don't know if I can give you a breather from down here with all the camera crazies, but when we visited with Mike Krzyzewski, he said to us, beating Maryland after we lost to St. John's was our big win of this season. But I keep remembering what else he told us, guys. This team is getting better, and you can gain a lot from games like this tonight. And then he said, especially if you win them. Can you imagine if Duke came back from how far they were trailing in the first half? What would they gain then, Dickie V? Are you serious?
Hey, Aaron, I will tell you this. You know, everybody made such a big thing when they got blown out by St. John's. If you recall, last year, very similar. They got blown out by Georgetown, and all they did was come back to win 6 in a row to win a national championship.
Smith off the screen. He's unbelievable.
They're getting wide open looks, though, man. The defense has really faltered in the second half. North Carolina played excellent defense in the first half.
27 for Smith, 15 of them here in the second half as we go to the under 8 media timeout here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Duke at 1 point down by 16 has roared back to take the lead on the strength of some great shooting from Seth Curry here in the second half. And his biggest fan in the world, Mom, loves what she sees here tonight.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Reese's, the perfect combination of chocolate and peanut butter.
Back at Cameron Indoor Stadium, time now for tonight's Game Track, brought to you by Cisco. What a night this has been, with Carolina leading by 14 at the half. Duke has roared back to take the lead. Nolan Smith having a monster night. Seth Curry has been that guy. He's been the guy to help out Smith and Singler. Singler actually only with 7 points tonight, so the contributions of Curry, Dick, that much more important.
Absolutely. And you think about bench play. You look at the first half, North Carolina, 9 points off their bench. They got Zippo. They got 0 thus far in the second half. Duke's got 14 off the bench here in the second half.
Carolina's struggling some from the line. Zeller will make the second. Carolina's 12 of 20, 60%. Duke's only been to the line 8 times tonight, and they've only made 4.
North Carolina's done a great job of not fouling.
Smith again. Gets it back from Kelly. Plenty of time.
He does a terrific job with his penetration, looking for open people if his shot's not there.
Yeah. Constantly in attack mode with the dribble.
Yeah, he goes north-south, doesn't go east-west.
Singler. And just taken away from behind by Barnes. Blocked at the other end by Kelly. Is that play by Barnes a block or a steal? He just took it right away from him.
I'll tell you one thing. He should get out of transition a little bit more. He can go coast to coast with his ability. Watch this. They take it right away from him.
2-point deficit for Carolina. Marshall. Dangerous pass to Barnes. Duke stepped up the intensity on defense.
I tell you, Singler may be struggling offensively. He's not struggling defensively. You ask Barnes. He's right up in his face.
Henson has had such a good night. Didn't go up strong with that one.
What a terrific job, though. I was watching off the play. The way Singler was denying the ball to Barnes. There's Barnes, the type of dad. He said, wow, I didn't check guys like this in Ames when I went to high school last year.
Kelly trying to back down Henson, and he traveled.
Good ball.
And Kelly really more of a perimeter player than he is a post player. 11 turnovers committed by Duke. What an environment, what a game. First place in the ACC on the line here at Duke.
Well, you got the passion, the intensity, emotion, a great tradition. Carolina, Duke. Think about it. Unbelievable.
Still Carolina ball.
Carolina having a tough time being efficient in the 5-on-5 half-court
Yep, you're right. Great
sequence.
point. Great point.
And that was really the talk of Mike Krzyzewski before the game. We want to make them play 5-on-5.
Miles Plumlee returns for Ryan Kelly. So Mason Plumlee switches on to Henson. Miles gets Zeller. When Marshall gets here next year, I give Uncle. Too many Plumlees. Biggest lead of the night for Carolina was 16, but they've been playing from behind the last couple of minutes.
Look at his quarterback. Has a great feel for the game, vision, always looking to make the pass.
Bullock to save to Marshall. Great play. Shot clock running down. He had to force it up. And it's Duke ball.
Great effort by Duke. Defensively 5-on-5. Communicating with one another. Really finding help. It's so important to play defense as a unit in a 5-man sequence. 5 guys have to be able to help one another communicate. Coming off that ball screen up on top by Sigler.
Marshall trying to stay in front of Smith. Curry, and he's fouled on a 3-point attempt by Bullock.
Not a good play. Bullock's having a tough evening. He's a good player. He's a young kid. Tough situation. Right here, makes contact on the arm.
And he's really played more of the small forward spot for Carolina. He's playing a lot of 2-guard tonight, and he definitely got him on the elbow. Strickland's had some foul trouble. And again, with Drew out there, they're down a man in the backcourt. Strickland slides to the point sometimes. McDonald hasn't been a big factor, so Bullock getting some minutes at the 2 spot.
Someone's got to step up right now for North Carolina. This is getting to a little danger time for them right here.
2 and 3, 20 points for Curry. And a travel on Henson.
That's a no-no, man. You're coming back. You're down 4. You're struggling. You had a 16-point lead. That means you've been outscored by 20 from that point.
Henson to the deck. Still loose. And it'll be a held ball. It'll stay at this end of the floor. Rivalry week on ESPN continues Saturday with a full slate of great games. It begins at noon Eastern. Syracuse and Louisville, both off tough losses tonight, collide at noon Eastern. Number 1 and undefeated Ohio State up in Madison to take on Wisconsin at 2 Eastern. And the game day game at 9 Eastern. Pittsburgh and Villanova. What a Saturday it will be.
I can't wait to get to Madison for that showdown.
Smith. And a foul on the play. No basket. As you can tell from the crowd's reaction, you just can't hear the whistle here.
Absolutely.
And it's the 4th foul on Bullock.
It's amazing. College basketball, a lot of parity out there. We got one undefeated team, the Buckeyes. Can they win at Cole? They have not been able to ever win at Cole.
Hardly anybody wins at Cole.
We'll find out 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Tune in, baby. From Madison, it's going to be cold, but it's going to be like an oven inside.
Yeah. Would you say 5 degrees up there on the weekend?
Probably. It won't be 5 degrees in the arena.
That's true. Duke extending the lead. They have outscored Carolina by 19. Make it 2 in the second half. Nolan Smith, I'm sorry, averaging 21 a game, is on his way to 30 plus.
I was going to say, if it weren't for Nolan Smith, the way he played earlier in the game to keep them in, they would have been down 20 plus at halftime. That's how good North Carolina looked in that first half. They were so efficient.
Barnes.
He has to learn to play without the ball as well.
Trying to do it all himself. Henson gets it back and flips it in with the left hand.
Nice play by Henson right there. Harrison Barnes, no doubt, multi-skill.
14 and 10 for John Henson. Another double-double for the freshman.
Here's Harrison.
For the sophomore, excuse me.
Checking on Sigler.
Off the leg of Smith. He'll run it down.
Tell you one thing, Smith's earning that scholarship.
Oh, boy. Nice pass. Mason Plumlee.
Never allow Smith to get that kind of penetration. You got to stay between him and the basket, and you got to really play him tough. You make him make the turn, it's going to create 2-on-1 opportunities. That's our future. They're going to run our country, those kids. Are you kidding me? Look at this here. You let them get in the 3-second area with penetration. Good things are going to happen. They tell me that those students, 1,500 SATs, 1,550, wow. Some 1,600. Took me 3 times to get 6.
They're not letting you and me in here. What an environment here at Cameron. Let's go back down to court level again with Ian.
Oh, I thought you transitioned. Speaking of smart kids, how about it? No, I'm kidding. Hey, we talked about at the top of the show, Nolan Smith, Kyle Sigler, the 1-2 punch on this team. But you never know who's going to step up as that third player. Well, we see it tonight with Seth Curry. Coach Krzyzewski telling us it's so predictable that somebody will step up. You just never know who. And I I need to bring up the point. We were told at Duke's shoot-around today, you know, Seth Curry is a guy that doesn't really need to do as much scoring-wise. He just needs to do the little things. Are you serious, America? Duke needed his scoring tonight.
Absolutely, he has responded.
8 for 12 from the floor. He's also got 6 rebounds and 5 assists. He has been huge for Duke.
Get the ball Zeller down that post. They got to get the ball inside the Zeller.
McDonald with a shot fake goes to the baseline and knocks it down. Leslie McDonald.
Nice little medium-range jump shot by McDonald. They got to get a defensive stop here.
Marshall on Smith. No call. Smith 2 more. 31.
There's nobody can check him on that floor. Nobody can check him on that floor. His game has absolutely skyrocketed.
Miles Plumlee playing some good D, but it'll stay with Carolina as we go to immediate timeout here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Duke led by the sensational Nolan Smith. And Seth Curry having a big night. What a game with Carolina. The Blue Devils lead by 6, less than 3 minutes to go.
North Carolina and Duke, the greatest rivalry in college basketball.
Oh, it is super scintillating, sensational, baby.
Some great names, some great players have graced this rivalry. And Nolan Smith, he's going to stand proudly right alongside him, Dick, with a performance here tonight. Have another game, of course, against Carolina at Chapel Hill later on in the season. Nolan Smith, 31 points tonight. His career high is 33. The spin by Marshall. What a play.
What a terrific play by the diaper Danny. I don't think there's any doubt right now people would have to vote for Nolan Smith as the player of the year in the ACC. I really
no doubt.
No doubt whatsoever.
And potential national player of the year. I think you and I agree. Jimmer Fredette's making one heck of a case right now, but Nolan Smith may be gaining on him in his rearview mirror through no fault of what Fredette's doing, but Smith's just playing great.
And also Sullinger's been playing super. One of the key reasons why they're unblemished. Think about the Buckeyes. I think also it's amazing here for Duke. And they've had such a strong second half. And Singler, I may be wrong, I don't believe he scored here in the second half.
You're right. He only has 7 points in the game. The second half for Duke has been dominated by Nolan Smith and Seth Curry. They've combined to score 35 of Duke's 41 points here in the second half.
And the two players, Barnes and Singler, have really negated each other.
Yeah.
Doing a great job defensively.
4-point lead for Duke. They've got the ball. 2:36 to go.
Now it becomes basically almost a 2-man game down the stretch with Nolan Smith and Singler. Set the ball screen, step out away from it. Trying to get the defense to switch. Trying to use that screen up on top. Take some time off the clock. The ball screen, then he's going to step back from it.
He'll go the distance and draw the foul. He is so dangerous using that screen.
I'll tell you one thing, using the screen, you usually see the screener step back, becomes the most dangerous guy like we saw with Brandon Knight, and we saw that with Terrence Jones. See the screen up on top? There it is, going to use it. He usually steps back. He's going to go right to the goal. See, somebody's got to step in his way. You can't allow him to penetrate.
Your buddy Bob Knight did a great job on SportsCenter breaking down this play specifically. Nolan Smith using the screen, how he can get to the basket, pull up for the mid-range jumper, or draw the defense and kick to an open shooter. He really can hurt you so many ways. 1 of 2 from the line.
I'll tell you one thing, the general knew how to draw him up down there. Mike Krzyzewski right now closing that gap.
Marshall again. Follow no. Miles Plumlee, a big rebound and a foul.
Mike really needs 35 wins to become the all-time leader over his mentor. So he's like 14 shot.
Got a chance.
He got a chance.
Yeah. Including this game, 7 league games left for Duke, potentially 3 ACC tournament games, and potentially 6 NCAA tournament games. So as many as 16 possible games remain for Duke this year. To the line, Miles Plumlee. He is the better free throw shooter of the Plumlee brothers, but he's only 62%.
Tell you one thing, they've done a great job this second half, Duke, including Miles right here, keeping the ball alive, give them second opportunities with those offensive rebounds. They'll have a third one join them here.
Marshall, so.
Yeah. There's the family all in the crowd here.
1 of 2. The lead is 6.
I'm impressed with Marshall. I'm really impressed. No matter what happens here tonight.
Look at this. And not
nice look.
Henson had the presence of mind. He knew he couldn't dunk it, but he passed it off to Zeller.
With the left hand, because he's a lefty, he gets right to Zeller to the inside. What a nice little three-man game. Marshall to Henson. They were looking for the conversion out of Henson, but obviously Henson with the look. I know Michelangelo Dean Smith's got to like this watching this. There it is. Does the dump down. Zeller says, wow. I think he'd be shocked that ball came to him. I think he'd be shocked. Look, he's standing stationary. Right? He catches the ball. He said, oh, look what I got. I got the rock. I got a deuce. What a play by the kids. Tar Heel lad.
How about Kendall Marshall? When he took over as the starter with the point for Carolina, their fortunes changed. They've won 5 in a row. They put up big point numbers. Larry Drew eventually left the program, apparently unhappy with coming off the bench. So Marshall all of a sudden has gone from a freshman backup to a 35-minute-a-night starter with the point.
What really amazed me, Seth Davis wrote a great article in Sports Illustrated. What really amazed me, that Larry Drew, a guy who's a coach in the NBA, could have sit with his youngster and say, hey, look, just finish the year and then make you move.
And Roy Williams found out when Larry Drew Sr. called him and told him.
Well, look at opposite. Wow. They had a layup from the post down low. They're going to try to trap all over now.
Singler decided to waste some time instead of go for the basket. Scoreless in the second half. Kyle Singler.
Spreading the court. They're going to have to foul.
Good trap. Good trap.
Now you got to convert off the trap. You got to convert.
Barnes misses the long 2. Tap back out. Nice pass.
What instincts he had. What instincts. They don't convert, but what instincts Marshall has.
Final minute.
There's the double up. You got to look opposite from the double team.
And Singler will take the foul and the free throws.
Roy Williams kids were ready to play. There was no doubt they were ready. They were intense. They executed. Second half, Duke executed their game plan. Made them play 5-on-5 and neutralized, took away their transition game.
First time to the line tonight for Singler.
He's a guy who won that line late in the game. His brother had a big game the other day for Oregon. They upset Washington. Washington had a tough week. Lorenzo lost to Washington State, Oregon, and Oregon State. He was in Oregon with Kevin Love.
That's right.
Both were high school stars.
Singler's mom can hardly look. Got a lot of moms and dads watching this big game here tonight. 1 of 2.
They have a way of getting tickets, man.
Yeah.
They know the right people. All right, here it is. They're going to score quickly.
Tough shot by Bull. Zeller, another rebound, and muscles it up and in. 24 points, 13 rebounds for Tyler Zeller.
He's been really impressive. He played on the USA Select team this summer and gained the experience playing against all the NBA players that were part of the team that won the World Championship.
Well, you look at the front line for Carolina, Zeller, Henson, Barnes, they are all going to play in the NBA. This is a very talented group, and Zeller's had a huge night.
Look at him operating on the inside. Nice catch. Rotating without the ball. There's a little jump hook in a lane. Showing a variety of ways to score. Then he's utilizing the left hand. He's ambidextrous. There's good hustle play. Very poised. Squares his body. Parents are happy. Corey Zeller, Steve Zeller. They got his son Cody. He'll be a star in Indiana.
All right, 3-point lead. Duke's got the ball, 38 seconds to go. Carolina, we already saw them force one turnover with a quick trap. They'll go for it again. If not, they've got a foul.
They got to come up with a stop right here to make it a one-possession game. Can't allow Duke to make it a two-possession game by getting a score here. Got an outstanding coaching staff there with Roy Williams and Steve Robinson, Jared House. He played on Kansas.
Yeah, C.B. McGrath on the staff as well. The guy that Carolina would like to foul, if they have to foul somebody, is one of the Plumleys. They obviously don't want Smith or Singler to step to the line. The key is, can they force the ball into the hands of one of the Plumleys, who are either one of them going to be in the game? Neither one is in there. Ryan Kelly has come in, and Andre Dawkins has come in as Mike Krzyzewski loads up on his best free throw shooters and takes out the two big guys who have been in the game, with first place on the line in the ACC.
And he also goes for better ball handlers late here in this possession. See, the ball's going to be in the hands of guys that can shoot the ball. There it is to Singlet. So well drilled in the right place. That's where you want to be. Spread the board, make it tough for them to double up.
And the foul will send Singler back to the line where he just made one of two. Duke only 57% from the line on the night.
This becomes big right here. Get down to the free throw line, becomes major. Could take this to make it a two-possession game.
Dexter Strickland is fouled out of the game.
Comes down to the free throw line. You can play all these minutes, 39 plus minutes. It comes down whether you're not going to make charity strike.
Now Plumlee back in for Kelly as Carolina is going to get the ball. McDonald takes Strickland's place for the Tar Heels.
Plumlee comes in to get that rebounder. Maybe keep the ball alive if he misses it.
Yeah, both Plumlees back into the game. Dawkins goes to the bench as well.
I have such respect for Kyrie Irving. I really do. Rather than pouting and feeling sorry, and he's been given this unbelievable adversity to deal with, he's there cheering.
Two big free throws for Singler.
They're going to score quickly. Doesn't have to be a three. Got to quickly get a deuce. Got to score. Can't be playing with the ball here.
Marshall bowls his way in and draws the foul. Nolan Smith, I believe.
He does a great job protecting the basketball on a drive. Seals the defense. Leonard Hamilton said when they blew out Florida State, who I believe will be in the tournament, I think when you talk about, he said Marshall was beating us, creating all kinds of 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s. We couldn't stay in front of him.
And he's not a blur.
No, he's not. Doesn't have great foot speed.
But he's strong and he's smart. Great basketball IQ. 2 for 4 from the line tonight.
It hurts, but he's got terrific basketball savvy.
Carolina led by 14 at the half, led by as many as 16 in the first half.
You know, Duke has such an edge on most people coming here at Cameron. They're 39 and 34 against North Carolina.
And Duke trying to extend the longest current home court winning streak in the nation. They have won 32 in a row. And we will have, did we have a timeout there? Yes. A timeout has been called with 16 and a half seconds left. Duke calls it.
It's been Nolan Smith, my friends. He has been absolutely scintillating. There he is with the three. He's been superb. There he is driving, utilizing the left hand. The bounce goes his way. Now right here, he's going to pick up the loose balls. Why not shoot it? Delvin touch all night long. There he is, stripping the defense. One-on-one move. Great ability. A terrific year would be cast my ballot as absolutely the player of the year in the ACC.
32 points, one shy of his career high. Also has 3 assists in the game. Now Duke just needs to take care of the ball, make a couple of free throws, and they will add to the numbers here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Certainly, home courts going to be invaluable, can give you an advantage, and certainly from a visiting perspective, this is, you have to think, one of the most intimidating home courts in America.
Well, what did Mike tell us before the game? He said, I like the idea. We're playing right here at Cameron. Coach K. Court. You know, why is this place intimidating? They asked me on Sports Center. Why is it? Well, very simply. It's not just because of the crowd. It's because year after year they have super players, they're well coached, and that's what leads to winning. And the winning leads to the unbelievable adrenaline, the enthusiasm, and the excitement to be here, Mr. Schulman.
I agree with all that. But you also have to agree the students are right on top of you here, maybe more than any other court that we go to. And not only are they right on top of you, they don't sit down, they don't stop chanting the whole night.
Well, let me ask you this, Eddie. If they're on top of you and you got a bunch of guys out there that are two-star players instead of 5+, it doesn't matter. They got stars, baby. Yeah. Year after year. And next year, Austin Rivers comes in. And then in 2012, Paul Biancardi, our ESPN guru, tells me they just signed or got a commitment verbally from Alex Murphy, whose brother plays for Florida.
Just saw him, that's right.
Yep.
Let's take a look now at who delivered. Brought to you by Teleflora here with this Duke 4-point lead over North Carolina. Seth Curry off the bench. He was that guy tonight, that guy who stepped up to help Smith and Singler. 20 points and had a run there in the second half, Dick, where for 4 or 5 minutes he just took over the game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He went on an incredible shooting exhibition. I know his brother must be jumping with joy watching him shoot the rock like that. Terrific. Unbelievable.
Curry averaging just over 8 points per game. He's made Mom proud here tonight.
Oh, she's all fired up.
Sonia Curry looking on here.
Oh, how's this for a number, Dan? Smith and Curry are 20 and 34. The rest of the team, 7 for 33.
How about 21 for 35? And a new career high for Nolan Smith with 34. Marshall lays it in. But the seconds are ticking away on Carolina, which has certainly shown they can play with one of the top teams in the country. They led most of the night here on the road, but in the end, it looks like they're going to come up short.
I'll tell you one thing, Roy Williams' kids are going to win a lot of games yet this year. And by the time they get in the tournament and they get a feel for playing with Marshall, they're going to be dangerous. By the way, I want to say this for the V Foundation for Cancer Research. We're going to honor Roy Williams this year, along with Kentucky and Carolina, the two winningest programs, and Nick Bollettieri in tennis. And we're going to host the celebrities coming. And I'll tell you one thing, he is a good guy. This guy has helped so many people. And we're looking forward to honor and raise $1 million for pediatric cancer.
Down to beautiful Sarasota, new career high for Seth Curry with 22. Marshall, and it will stay with the Tar Heels. Duke is going to go to 9-1 in the lead. Carolina will fall to 7-2. They'll have a rematch last weekend of the regular season at Chapel Hill.
Don't tell me halftime's not important, because I firmly believe the adjustments they made at halftime and coming out playing with a better intensity and rebounding was the difference.
What a night for Nolan Smith. What a night for Seth Curry. And what a night here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Rivalry week, something we always look forward to. It always has a Carolina-Duke game in it. And Dick, this one was a whole lot of fun.
Anytime you put these two clubs, this is a genuine rivalry. 8 miles apart. Usually the ACC standings up on top. They're usually two of the best. Just a terrific environment and another great battle.
Duke takes control to a certain extent of the ACC. Now a game and a half up on Carolina. The Tar Heels' 5-game winning streak comes to an end here at Cameron tonight. Duke wins 79-73. Nolan Smith with a career high 34 points. And he's with Aaron Andrews.
Well, first of all, at halftime, you're down by 14 points. We have to know, give us the edited version of what was said in the locker room.
We got to play. I mean, we knew that they're a great team. We had to come out, just play our game, take our time on offense, and make sure we're going to get a good shot on every possession.
We know how intense this rivalry is and how much it means to you guys. But what does it mean to you having a new career high, 34 points tonight in this rivalry?
It was very special. You know, my teammates helped me out tremendously, and I just want to be aggressive. And you know, my last game at home against Carolina, I just want to make it a special night, and it was.
Coach K told us before the game, it's games like this you really can gain something. What did you gain out of this game?
Toughness. A lot of toughness. A lot of our guys show a lot of heart, and to come away with a win in this game shows it's going to be a tough team to play.
Thanks so much, Nolan.
Thank you.
All right, Dick. Dan.
Aaron, thank you. Nolan Smith with a career-high 34. Seth Curry, a Duke-high 22 as the Blue Devils roar back in the second half from a 14-point halftime deficit to beat Carolina 79-73, extending their home court winning streak to 33, the longest active streak in the nation. SportsCenter is next here on ESPN. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Dick Vitale, Aaron Andrews, and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Dan Schulman saying thanks for watching it so long from Durham. SportsCenter coming up with Steve Levy and Scott Van Pelt.